Hey boys and girls, how do you do? Just want to welcome you to today's lesson only on iTTV. And my name is Mr. Joel, your tutor for Mathematics Form 4. Alright guys, today we have arrived at lesson 6 of our chapter 2, which is quadratic expressions and equations. Alright, we have learned how to factorize all forms of quadratic expressions. Alright, and today we'll be looking specifically at the factorization involving 3 factors. Alright, I want you to take a look at this example here. Factorize completely the quadratic expression 2x squared minus 18. Alright, when we have factorized quadratic expressions in the past, there are at most 2 linear algebraic expressions, right? No matter how many steps you use, the 3-step, the 5-step, there are always 2 linear algebraic expressions for every quadratic expression. But today, we'll be looking at a select few quadratic expressions that has 3 factors instead of 2. Alright, and what do I mean by that? Let's continue with our example here. What do we do from here? For the expression 2x squared minus 18, step 1. Look for the common factor of the algebraic terms. So 2x squared minus 18, in this case, the common factor of 2x squared and negative 18 is 2. Alright, in step 2, put the reduced quadratic expression in a bracket. So, from 2x squared minus 18, common factor 2, put outside the bracket. What is left after dividing every term with the highest common factor will be x squared minus 9. So take a look there. 2 bracket x squared minus 9. And there is one final step, which is step 3. Finally, factorize the reduced quadratic expression. So, from 2x squared minus 18 equals to 2 bracket x squared minus 9 equals to 2 bracket x plus 3 bracket x minus 3. So, the 3 factors are 2, x plus 3 and x minus 3. So we have seen in this specific example that before you can factorize using the usual techniques that we have learned in the past lesson or so, you have to actually do one extra step. And it is very easy to remember. What step must you remember? Anytime you see 2 terms in any quadratic expression, and there is a common factor for any of those 2 terms, you must factorize the quadratic expression out before you perform the normal factorization. But guys, be very, very careful, because when we look at this kind of factorization involving 3 factors, there are a few common errors that you must avoid. And let's look at the first common error. Alright, the first common error, 2x squared minus 18 is factorized to become 2x plus 6 and x minus 3. Alright, look there. What is wrong with this factorization? Alright, if you were to expand the expression 2x plus 6 and x minus 3, you would actually get back the quadratic expression 2x squared minus 18. So what's wrong with that? The problem is the factorization is considered to be incomplete because 2x plus 6 can be further factorized as 2 bracket x plus 3. So to put it actually in a nutshell, you must actually factorize completely, because factorizing completely means factorizing until you cannot factorize anymore to the simplest form possible. So if you manage to factorize but it's only halfway through, means it is actually not complete. Alright, let's look at another common error that is quite commonly done. In B, 2x squared minus 18 is factorized to become x plus 3 and 2x minus 6. Alright, I'm sure you'll get an idea already what is wrong with this factorization. Alright, in A, it is not complete and it's the same. The reason being, the factorization is considered to be incomplete because 2x minus 6 can be further factorized as taking out the 2 and bracket x minus 3. So for these two kinds of factorization, either of the algebra expressions, the 2 can be actually put out. So you must remember to do that, to take out the highest common factor first. Alright, one more common error is in C. Alright, 2x squared minus 18 is 2 bracket x squared minus 9. And the factorization is also considered to be incomplete because x squared minus 9 can be further factorized as x minus 3 bracket x plus 3. Also not fully factorized. That is why it is not accurate and considered wrong. Alright guys, now let's look at an example. Factorize the quadratic expression completely. And we have the expression 2x bracket 3x plus 14 plus 16. And the keyword is completely here. Alright, in the first step, expand the first part of the expression that involves the bracket. That is removing the bracket from the expression. So when you see a bracket, expand to get rid of that bracket first. Alright? So the result is, after expanding the bracket, 6x squared plus 28x plus 16. In step 2, look for the common factor of the algebraic terms in the quadratic expression. Alright, in 6x squared plus 28x plus 16, the common factor, that is 2. Put the reduced quadratic expression in a bracket. So originally we have the expression 2x, 3x plus 14 plus 16. And then it is expanded for step 2 to become 6x squared plus 28x plus 16. And then the common factor 2 is identified and put outside the bracket. So we have the expression 3x squared plus 14x plus 8 inside the bracket. And in step 4, finally factorize the reduced quadratic expression by the table method, or we are very familiar now with the cross method, right? They are the same method. So back to our example from the start, 2x, 3x plus 14 plus 16, expanded to become 6x squared plus 28x plus 16. Common factor 2 is identified and put outside the bracket to become 3x squared plus 14x plus 8 inside. And then the expression 3x squared plus 14x plus 8 is further factorized to become 2, 3x plus 2, 3x plus 4. Alright, now we are going to now do a few examples where I will guide you step by step how do you factorize quadratic expression that involves 3 factors. Alright, we need to go to the board for this. Alright guys, in the question it says factorize completely the following 3 quadratic expressions. Alright, look at number 1. The expression 9x squared minus 81. Alright, immediately if you identify a common factor, take it out. And for number 1, for 9x squared minus 81, the common factor for 9 and 81 happens to be 9. So remember, take out the common factor and put it outside the bracket. What is left inside the bracket is when the whole expression is divided by the common factor that we have identified. So 9x squared divided by 9 will give you x squared. And negative 81 divided by 9, negative 9. Alright, this is only the first step, yeah? Don't stop here, because the expression x squared minus 9 can be further factorized. Recall back what we have learned earlier. X squared minus 9 is actually the subtraction of one perfect square from the other. And the subtraction of 3 squared from x squared. So for this kind of factorization, you apply a certain identity, okay, which is x minus 3x plus 3. So now, what does it mean by 3 factors? The whole expression 9x squared minus 81 factorized completely gives you 3 factors. The first factor is 9. The second factor is x minus 3. And the third factor is x plus 3. So if you stopped here, your factorization is incomplete, because this expression can be further to be factorized by using a certain identity to be factorized completely. So this is the product of the factorization. Alright, let's look at 2. Factorize this expression. Alright, 4x squared minus 6x in a bracket minus in another bracket x squared plus 9. Alright, remember what is the first thing? Get rid of brackets. Doesn't matter by multiplication if there is, or subtraction. So for number 2, 4x squared, let's get rid of both brackets. It becomes 4x squared minus 6x minus x squared minus 9. So always get rid of the brackets and then simplify the quadratic expression so it looks like your general form. So 4x squared can minus x squared to become 3x squared and minus 6x and minus 9. So this is the quadratic expression in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Alright, but do not factorize yet by using the 5 method that we learned in case 4 previously. Why? Because look at the 3 terms. What is the common factor of 3x squared, 6x and 9? I bet you can tell me. It is 3, because every term can be divided by 3. So we have a common factor here, 3, and the common factor must always be taken out. Alright, so take out the common factor and put it outside the bracket. Alright, now reduce the quadratic expression after every term has been divided with 3. Alright, and 3x squared divided by 3 gives you x squared, minus 6x divided by 3 gives you minus 2x, and negative 9 divided by 3 gives you negative 3. But now we have only done taking out the first factor. If you identify this part here, x squared minus 2x minus 3 can be further factorized by using the 5-step method that we have learned earlier. Alright, so if you need to do the working, do it by the side. Alright, and we have done this in lesson previously. So just look at this part here. Apply the 5-step. So x squared minus 2x minus 3. Draw the 2 lines. Alright, first step, look here. X squared, the product is x multiplied by x. And how do you get a 3? It is 3 multiplied by 1. And then apply the cross method. Okay, so x times 3 gives you 3x. X times 1 gives you 1x. And then remember, put the sign. How are you going to arrange the positive and negative such that you will get a negative 2x? Negative needs to be put on top and positive at the bottom. Okay, so the sum of the terms here gives you negative 2x. And to further double check, transfer the sign over and check the product, it should give you -3, which will tally with the expression here. Remember guys, we are only factorizing the quadratic expression in the bracket. Okay, so this expression x squared minus 2x minus 3 can be further factorized to x minus 3 and x plus 1. So now the factorization is complete because 3 remains out from the beginning. X squared minus 2x minus 3, we have just factorized it using the cross method, and we have obtained the two factors, which is x minus 3 and x plus 1. Okay, so now the factorization is complete when you identify 3 factors, which is 3, x minus 3, and x plus 1. Always remember guys, factorizing must be done completely until you cannot factorize anymore. Alright, now let's look at number 3. Factorize this whole expression. Alright, 3x, 2x minus 1, minus 18. So remember, the quadratic expression that is given to you can come in many forms. We have seen 3 different forms here and all are different, but all can be generalized into a general form of quadratic expression. So you must always do that, and the first step is always, remember, getting rid of the bracket. Alright, by expanding or multiplying, adding or subtraction. So 3x multiplied by 2x here will give you 6x squared. Alright, and 3x multiplied by minus 1 gives you minus 3x. Okay, and minus 18 is outside. So look carefully, 6, 3, 18, think all 3 can be divided by 3. Once you identify that, don't think anymore, just straight away take out the common factor. Okay, so 6, 3, 18, common factor is 3. Yeah? So take out the 3, and what is inside the bracket? The expression in the bracket is when every term is divided by 3. So go step by step and be careful, especially of the sign, positive or negative. So 6x squared divided by 3 gives you 2x squared here. Minus 3x divided by 3, minus x, and minus 18 divided by 3, minus 6. So we have managed to extract 3 out of everyone first, and that is the first step for quadratic expression that has 3 factors. Now, can you identify which part of the remaining expression that needs to be factorized? I'm sure you can. It is this expression here, 2x squared minus x minus 6, and this can be factorized by using the 5-step method. Okay, so if you need to do the working, do it outside. Yeah. So now let's concentrate on this expression, 2x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, so the same steps apply. Draw 2 lines. Now, what are the combinations of 2x squared? You get a 2x times x. There's only one combination. And what are the combination for 6? Okay, by now you should know it's a trial and error. 6 times 1 or 3 times 2, we go with 3 times 2. Okay, then apply the cross method. Alright, so 2x multiplied by 2 gives you 4x, and x multiplied by 3 is 3x. The sign comes in here. How are we going to put the plus minus such that we will get negative x? Alright, it needs to be plus 3x and minus 4x. That is the only way to get negative x. Alright, transfer and see whether we have done correctly. Positive 3 times minus 2, you will get minus 6, which is what we have got on the right hand side. So factorization is complete when we have managed to factorize 2x squared minus x minus 6 into the two factors. So lastly, do not forget, rewrite all the factors of the quadratic expression. So 3 is outside, and this can be factorized to 2x plus 3 from here, and the second factor x minus 2. So for the whole expression, what do we have? 3 factors. Okay, so 3 is the first factor, 2x plus 3 and x minus 2. So when you have done that, you have managed to complete the factorization. You have managed to separate the quadratic expression from its original state into the 3 factors that make up. And remember, how can you know whether you have done the right method or not? Whether your factors are right or not? Always expand. Alright, and do the reverse of factorization with each expansion. Right? If you multiply back every term inside, you should get back the original quadratic expression. Alright, so we have discussed 3 examples and factorized all of them completely. Alright guys, now it's time for your quick test. Alright, and you will get to do and factorize by yourself. Alright, what we have learned today. Alright, let's take a look at these questions here. Factorize completely each of the following quadratic expressions. Alright, for number 1, 2x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x. For number 2, 6x squared minus 6x minus 36. And for 3, 3x squared minus 12. Remember guys, the key word is factorizing completely. Alright, I give you some time now, we'll discuss shortly. Alright guys, I'm sure you have your answers with you. Come, let's do it together. Alright, and compare your answers with mine. Yeah? For the first question, after factorizing completely, you should get x, 2x minus 3 and x minus 1. For 2, you should get factor 6, x minus 3 and x plus 2. And for 3, your factors are 3, x minus 2, x plus 2. Alright guys, let's recap what we have learned today. Alright, so today we have learned how to factorize special quadratic expressions. And what do I mean by special? Quadratic expressions that can be factorized into 3 factors. Alright, and the most important thing is to remember, take out the common factor immediately when you see a quadratic expression. Alright, and factorize it using the 3-step. Alright guys, we have come to a conclusion of lesson 6, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Alright, we'll see you in the next lesson. Alright, goodbye for now, and see you.